Good evening, teacher. We are the group number 6, and today we are going to present about the curriculum guidance in science, social studies, and arts. Okay, so first we're going to start with the part of the science, please. Okay, thank you. So we need to start with the most important. What is science? The science is like, for some people, is like the only the truth, because in the science, for example, we don't have a space for strange things that happens in the world. That happens, but there is not a true of what is the happening or what is continuing this success. Okay, so perfect. This is the tangible truths about our reality that function or that works. And for some people and for me, it's very interesting the science because, for example, we have a lot of samples of that. For example, the evolution in the species, the bones of dinosaurs, etc. Okay, so it's a very good and interesting topic about that. But what happened with the children and teenagers? With the children, they are a natural curious of about science because the teenagers and the children always want to know, and why this, why of that, what is the reason that happened this, and etc. Okay, so how should we teach science to our students? It's important to know specifically what are the skills, what are the abilities, the teamwork, and the student environment to structure a good class with must be interesting for them. Please continue. Okay, so some teaching methods that we can use in this part is the first one, the lecture method. This method is not so recommended for example, we have a class of only 5 people or 10 people, because this method is very passive and the students can't, for example, ask to a doubt that they have. This is very passive because the students don't participate actively, so it's more recommended for big groups or huge groups in a classroom. The second one is the inquiry-based learning. This is a method recommended to know or to practice the student skills, because we use the part of the vocabulary and we expand with a topic. For example, imagine that watching we are watching a video about the starfishes in the sea. Okay, but this video is in English, so the students can learn new vocabulary, can write new words that they learn. The third one is the problems-based learning, the PBL. Is similar to the previously, but the situation is that in this part they use the several topics or the several words in a practical, in a real situation, to practice the second language, like in this moment is the English, to practice the second language and to know, for example, we watched a video, okay, so now we can practice with, for example, seeing the starfish anatomy, like that. In the project-based learning, in this part, start with the part of the critical thinking and the social connections in students. So they learn with this part and they can improve their, for example, speaking skills or their listening skills. And finally, the observation method is very interesting because the base of this or the support is only the teacher. The teacher must be like a magician or like a clown, because he or she needs to be a lot of practical and dynamic in their classes, because the students only see what happened and what is the teacher doing. Thank you.
The importance of the social studies for curriculum guidelines for social studies. This is according to the National Council for Social Studies. For the main purpose of learning, social can participate of democratic society. In the 21st century, social studies allows students to connect with the real world life, global engagement, social thinking, lifelong learning foundations. Next, please. For topics in the social studies, for example, English Pedagogical Model 1, covers CLA approach used in English teaching where topics like family, history, students learn context based on their experiences. For example, family stories, Latin American tradition, the culture, and based in the context, learning, students' experiences, and reflection. Next, please. And the primary goals of social studies educations, there are three primary goals. This is the first goal, focus on cognitive knowledge, include facts, ideas, skills, and methods. The second goal, address attitudes and value, ground finally, and the third goal, this is involved skills development, divide into three categories: studies, intellectual, cognitive, and the teaching methods for social studies, lecture and discussion methods. The characteristics is transmission method, but for history and geography. Thank you.
Okay, for this part is there are seven main methods for teaching social studies. The first method is lecture and discussion method. This is a traditional transmission approach where teachers present information to students, particularly useful for history and geography. It can introduce new topics and stimulate critical thinking. The second method is role playing. This is an interactive technique where the students act out real world scenarios to deeply engagement with content. The students take on roles and experience situations from different perspectives. The third method is a project-based learning. It is a student-centered method where learners work autonomously and extend investigations that result in authentic products or presentations. It develops higher order thinking and connect learning to real world context. The fourth method is debate and discussions. Involves students arguing different positions on real life issues. And this encourages critical thinking and active participation. The teacher acts as moderator while students research and defend their viewpoints. And the fifth method is field trips and community-based learning. This takes education outside the classroom, connected students directly with places, objects, and culture to make concepts memorable and meaningful. And the sixth method is cooperative learning. This organizes students into small groups and where they work together on shared tasks, developing social skills, and learning from each other. And the students must be explicit of cooperative behaviors and teachers monitor to ensure effective collaboration. And the last method is game-based learning. This is use games to motivate students and develop 21st century skills like problem solving, teamwork, and creativity, and through role-based engagement activities. Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to talk about curriculum guidance for arts. Arts education provides students with unique opportunities to explore, express, and to feel their emotions, ideas, and experiences in class. It integrates creativity and knowledge, promoting cognitive, emotional, and social development. The main purpose of this curriculum is to help students to think and express themselves creatively and learning not only about language but also about through arts. Um, okay, some disciplines that we can include in this curriculum is dance, drama, music, and visual arts. In the part of dance, we use elements as our body, space, time, energy, and relationship. In the part of drama, we use role, characters, relationships, and time and place. And the part of music, we use duration, speech, dynamics, and other expressive controls. And in the part of visual arts, we use elements like line, shape, and form, space also. And the principles is contrast, repetition, and rhythm, variety, and emphasis. Now, the CLAL approach exam. We have an example. For example, in English, we can use exploration of local and Latin America traditions. We also can do music and visual projects that are connected with the history or literature. We also can do role play dramatizations. We can do artistic reflections and creative writing. We also can do student led exhibitions and performances. These are some examples. Now, the CLIL approach is a dual focused educational approach where language and content are learned together. The key principles is the content, communication, cognition, and culture. In the content is learning meaningful artistic topics. In communication, we basically we use language to express artistic ideas. In the part of cognition, we develop high order thinking through creation and analysis. And in culture, we have to be sure of encouraging cultural awareness and global understanding. Some benefits of this curriculum is that we can improve both language and artistic skills. We promote autonomy and creativity. We encourage multicultural understanding and makes learning meaningful and enjoyable. We also have the inquiry-based method that is a student-centered approach that encourages curiosity, exploration, and reflection. In this method, we use open-ended artistic tasks. We use experimentation with techniques and materials. We focus on self-expression and problem solving, and integration of personal experiences into our work. And some advantage of this method is that we promote creativity and intrinsic motivation, develop critical and reflective thinking, and we encourage ownership of the learning process. We also have the role play method that is not the other, please. We have the role playing method where we let students to express emotion, explore identities, and understand different perspectives through creative dramatization. We use an active participation and imagination. We emphasize collaboration and communication, and we focus on creativity and more than performance perfection. With this method, we increase student motivation, encourage authentic communication, build social and emotional skills, and deepens understanding of artistic and cultural content. And finally, we have the cooperative learning. In this method, a student works in small groups to create or analyze artworks in a collaborative way. And some benefits of this method is that we can enhance teamwork and respect. We also encourage sharing ideas and making a constructive feedback. We build confidence and responsibility. And finally, we help to develop communication skills in a second language.